All right, let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to break down June 9, 2026. This might honestly go down as the absolute darkest, most consequential 24 hours in the entire history of cybersecurity. We're going to track this massive cascading collapse, and we'll see how it moved from microscopic, human-level errors that literally broke the internet's foundation all the way out to the wild, automated frontiers of AI.
Now, listen to what security researcher Brad Spengler had to say about this, because it perfectly captures our recurring theme for today, the terrifying contrast in scale between a tiny, almost invisible mistake and a total systemic collapse. You know, in software engineering, we always talk about defense in depth, which is basically layering multiple security measures, so if one fails, the whole house doesn't come crashing down. Well, that's not just a best practice anymore. It is literally a matter of survival.
Section 1. One character causes catastrophe. This is the CVE 2026-23111 Linux kernel vulnerability. So we have to start at the absolute foundation of the internet, which is Linux. Deep inside its architecture, a single inverted logic operator, essentially a yes that got flipped to a no, caused a memory bug known as a use after free condition. Think of it like reserving a hotel room. You check out, but your digital key still magically opens the door even after a brand new guest has moved in. Because of that one single typo, a regular local user could gain root, or God-level access, and break completely out of their isolated cloud container. And in modern computing, a container escape means breaking out of your secure digital box and compromising the host system, giving you control over literally everything else running on that server. And just look at how this plays out. It's a ticking time bomb for enterprise security teams. The official patch for that Linux bug dropped in February of 2026. But by April, independent exploits were already public. And by June, the full methodology was out in the wild for anyone to see. Millions of systems just sat there, totally exposed in that dangerous, yawning window between the official fix being published and random script kiddies getting their hands on the public exploit code. It's a brutal reminder that in today's threat landscape, you've got to patch in days, not weeks.
Moving on to Section 2, AI support becomes the enemy. And for this, we're looking at Meta, in what has to be one of the most ironic breaches ever recorded. So Meta built this cutting-edge, AI-powered high-touch support system to help users quickly recover their locked Instagram accounts. Sounds great, right? Well, instead of helping, this super helpful AI was weaponized by attackers to bypass security completely. 20,225. That's exactly how many Instagram accounts got hijacked in this breach. And that number is profound because it highlights this huge tension in tech right now. When you optimize an AI heavily to just be helpful to complete tasks for the user, instead of maintaining strict security skepticism, it literally becomes an attacker's automated takeover machine. The AI wanted to be helpful so badly that it completely forgot to be secure.
And what's really crazy here is how shockingly simple this prompt injection actually was. If you're not familiar, prompt injection is basically when you use clever language to trick an AI into ignoring its underlying security rules. The attackers just contacted the support AI, claimed they lost access to a target account, and handed over their own email address. The AI totally failed to verify email ownership and just happily sent a password reset link straight to the attacker. Boom, account gone. But here is the most important part. Every single one of those 20,000 plus victims lacked two-factor authentication, 100% of them, 0 2FA. The takeaway here is non-negotiable, folks. Enable 2FA on absolutely everything.
Section 3, the legacy VPN trap, focusing on checkpoints, security failure. Stepping back into enterprise infrastructure for a second, VPNs are supposed to be your secure, encrypted front door into a corporate network. But the Keelan ransomware gang exploited a zero-day vulnerability in checkpoint VPNs. A zero-day is a critical flaw the manufacturer didn't even know existed, meaning they literally had 0 days to fix it. This let the attackers completely bypass passwords. And the worst part? These guys roamed undetected for an entire month, just mapping networks and stealing data, before a patch was even developed. This whole mess is a textbook example of why technical debt is so dangerous. The specific protocol that was exploited here was IKEV1. Do you know when that was introduced? 1998. Relying on a 26-year-old deprecated protocol in 2026 is like flying a massive commercial jet with one engine completely blown out. Modernization isn't optional. You have to transition to newer, secure protocols like IKEV2 or WireGuard, because trust me, the fallout from a breach is always more expensive than the upfront cost of modernizing your tech.
All right, Section 4, GitHub's AI developer worm, known as the miasma worm infiltration. Now we're crossing into the bleeding edge of supply chain attacks. This new malware took an incredibly unprecedented approach. Instead of hunting for broadly used generic software packages, it specifically hunted the most valuable, highly privileged targets on the modern internet: AI developers.
GitHub actually had to disable access to 73 Microsoft repositories in just 105 seconds, under 2 minutes. That massive rapid takedown was absolutely necessary to stop this self-replicating malware before it caused catastrophic damage across critical Azure and Microsoft projects. Security teams dubbed it the miasma worm, a nod to the giant sandworms from the sci-fi epic Dune, because it just rapidly burrows through deep software infrastructure, consuming every single API key, password, and cloud credential in its path.
It literally spreads like a biological virus. Once it's cloned by a developer, the worm activates, aggressively scans the developer's environment for cloud credentials, and then uses those stolen credentials to clone itself into other repositories. And it targets AI devs on purpose because their daily tools like Copilot or Claude Code require highly elevated API access and massive cloud compute resources just to function. Hitting an AI developer isn't just a breach. For a hacker, it's the ultimate jackpot. So for any developers listening right now, trust nothing, verify everything, and for the love of everything secure, never hard code or commit your credentials. Section 5, the trillion-dollar AI race. OpenAI files for IPO. Amidst all of these automated, existential threats going on, the underlying financial markets are being entirely reshaped. OpenAI confidentially filed for an IPO. Literally just 1 week after its major rival Anthropic did the exact same thing. The entire AI industry is officially transitioning out of the research lab and straight onto Wall Street. It is a serious head-to-head battle. OpenAI is targeting a staggering $1 trillion valuation by September 2026. Now, while public markets do bring some desperately needed transparency to these AI business models, they also introduce intense quarterly earnings pressure. And the big question experts are asking is this: could the demand for immediate quarter-over-quarter profitability end up compromising the long-term, highly expensive safety research required for artificial general intelligence? You know, the kind of AI that equals or completely surpasses human reasoning? Finally, Section 6, Apple's automated security gamble, featuring agentic AI and iOS 27. Unveiled at WWDC 2026, Apple Intelligence rolled out an agentic AI. That means it doesn't just suggest actions for you to take, it autonomously takes those actions for you. It constantly monitors your passwords, and if it detects a leak or notices you're using a weak password, it automatically navigates to the website in Safari, logs in, and changes your password for you without a single tap or manual intervention from you. But this creates a terrifying automation paradox. On one hand, yes, it's a massive security upgrade for everyday users who rely on terrible, easily guessable passwords. It actively fixes human laziness. But on the other hand, granting an AI temporary autonomous control over your most sensitive credentials introduces terrifying new prompt injection vulnerabilities. Think about it. What happens if a malicious, cleverly coded website tricks your Apple AI mid-process into changing your password to one the attacker already knows? We are rapidly shifting from AI that just suggests things to AI that actually acts on our behalf. So, to wrap up this explainer on a seriously dark 24 hours in tech, we're left staring down a pretty massive question. Will this new era of automated cybersecurity be our ultimate savior, stepping in seamlessly where human hygiene fails? Or is it going to be our most devastating vulnerability yet? Are we really ready to hand the keys of our digital lives over to the exact same systems that attackers are currently learning how to manipulate? Thanks for joining me, and stay safe out there.